I'm not going to read everything here, but it's really based on a question on a term that I'm not sure you hear a lot of. I don't know that it's a qualified word, but I think I understand what they mean. It's asking about mental load. So if you're playing chess, I guess, that would be a significant mental load, and brain function works off glucose. I mean, there's a lot of the same things. We do know that if you're going to do something for a very, very long period of time, you're probably not going to have these glycolytic impacts from mental load. But I think what they're really getting at is when you have this physical task, hopefully is beneath your maximal capacity, and then you have to make mental decisions. What is the exact adaptation you're really looking for there? Is it the decisions for speed and agility? I think that should probably get as close to reactive as possible as we put people into open loop types of training. If I were to be condescending towards SAQ, speed, agility, quickness training, I would say most of the time it's bad glycolytic conditioning. It's closed loop, you're being told exactly what to do. Rest periods are typically based on how many people are training at the same time, where maximal effort of any given period of time should always be matched with a proper rest period. That doesn't happen. It doesn't fit in an hour. You don't get to do all sorts of crazy drills. The fact that it's closed loop probably minimizes any really mental load to begin with. I think the point is regardless of where your sweet spot is for developing physical skills with mental load, you have to, they both come out of the same bank account of energy systems. Obviously, the physical piece would then start to dominate, because if it's only mental, it's probably a lower threshold system like chess. But if you have to constantly think about where you're going to go next or what move you're going to do, part of that is tennis, which are okay, I have to get to that spot. Am I going to try to reach, for a forehand, or am I going to settle for a backhand? That is a choice. You'll see that in short hops or in baseball. Like, okay, am I going to backhand this or am I going to come around? Am I just going to eat it? These are decisions that you have to make. Those mental decisions take energy. And that's where overall work capacity should include these types of things. But when you're working on that mental load, I think you should be well below your maximal threshold of the physical component so that you're able to dedicate as much biological resources to those mental decisions so that you are minimizing mistakes and errors. They're a little bit different, and I learned this when I did get into tennis. When you're saying unforced error, that's like ball went through your legs. Now, was that a decision or was that you just made a physical mistake? So there's different ways to categorize undesirable outcomes. Where was it your choice that turned into the mistake and the error, or did you just physically not deliver the skill that you were trying to do? Like you tried to keep the ball of your hat down, stare at the ball, and it still goes through your legs. That is a different type of error than if you were late jump off the ball, where might have been a sensory component. All these different things come into play in very, very high level forms of motor skill acquisition at the most specific levels, where these mental decisions and mental load can be crucial. So how do you qualify for mental load? I don't know, because I don't know that anything that we have access to physiologically would genuinely know the difference between internal load measures that was from chess versus something else until you actually measure it. Where, okay, we see these particular measures land in this, and I use chess very particularly because there's very minimal to zero physical demand in this. If you're not good at sitting and moving your arm, then you have a real problem playing chess. But the decisions are mental, and how far ahead can you think? I'm very confident that elite chess players probably aren't going to play as well if they don't sleep well the night before. But we also know that sleep is going to impact almost everything. So should you carb up for chess? In theory, yes. I don't know why you wouldn't. At some point, if you're going to play chess for this hours, you're not using lots of glucose, but I want to make sure that whatever glycogen I might need is available before I have to do other things. And this almost sounds ridiculous, but that's why I'm using chess as an example, because in the things that are well above chess that have decisions to make, that is a big piece, because you don't want to be thinking about these decisions. You just want them to be reactive and just do without any type of mental load.